What's up? My name's Glueboy, welcome back to the channel, and you know what? It has been a little too long since I've delivered my objectively correct opinions onto this channel. So we're doing a tier list again. And much like my other very popular video, we're going to be talking about Space Marines. We talked about, the Primarchs earlier, and now we talk about their kids. And I will state, today's list, all it's going to be are the ones you see here, which are all actual Codex playable Space Marines, be it Chaos or Loyalist. Because I cannot be asked to go through all of the Successor and Renegade chapters. There's a lot, and a lot I don't fully know which ones are super popular or not. So I don't know, if you want to see like a part 2 to this, comment with like Successor chapters or Renegade chapters you actually want me to like go into. It'll help on research. Besides, I can't go into like every single one. I mean, I'm sorry to all like the Oblators or Dark Hand Space Marine fans out there, like all one of you. But anyways, let's just go on to the list, which we'll take in alphabetical order. And speaking of alphabetical order, first up we got the Alpha Legion, which an A tier for me. I think the Alpha Legion are super fun. The whole like Hydra Dominatus, sleeper agents everywhere, subterfuge, so much fun. Especially because I just read the book Legion for the Horus Heresy series, and I think it nailed their vibe really well. I like their aspect that's like taking over planets, firing a single bolter round, or taking out entire like Successor chapter fleets by just setting up a plan, a bunch of sleeper agents, then boom, entire chapter gone. That's super dope. And then this one is no surprise to any fans of this channel. The Black Legion are an immediate S tier. I adore these guys. They are my favorite Chaos Legion ever. And mainly for, I think, one reason, in the fact that they are like Chaos Undivided, but highly organized. Because when you compare them to like all of their Chaos brothers, they're the most normal and the most normal military. Because they actually act like an organized fighting force rather than a bunch of roaming raiders, which is fun in its own right, but I kind of like, the actual threat they pose. And I do think you can state that the Black Legion are essentially just the Ultramarines of Chaos Legions, and I think it's fair, but I don't know. So there's something fun about just playing like the big bad evil guys. It's real interesting to me. That, and I also really love the whole aspect that they just have open recruitment for any other Legion. Like anyone can join, just you can shack up with the Black Legion. Kind of dope. This is something I lean into for my custom Black Legion warband, where I actually have the the Legion marker on their shoulder is painted wherever they hail from. So I have a bunch of like Word Bearers, Iron Warriors, kind of just intermixed with the Black Legion paint scheme, which I think is kind of fun. And Black Templars, which are an immediate D tier for me. I'm not a fan of their vibe. I'm not super big into the whole like Crusader type. I mean, yeah, they're angry in melee, which, yeah, there's another Legion that does that I like it more with, but it's just, I don't vibe with their style. I think they're, I will state though, the whole like chaining your sword to your arm thing, that is metal as fuck. That is super cool in a fight. But other than that, like, there's not much in this chapter that interests me. And the Blood Angels, which, much like their Primarch, are an easy C tier. Because, like, the Blood Angels, I think, are interesting in the fact that they have a lot of really dope characters. You Blood Angel fans, like Dante, Mephiston, and Tycho, are real cool. I haven't, like, delved insanely deep into those characters, but the bits I've read are awesome. However, other than that, like, Like, Blood Angels exist. That's the strongest thing I can say about them. I think they get a lot of love from Games Workshop, which I'm very jealous about. But, I mean, I don't know. Their selling point is that they're melee vampires, and I've never given a shit about vampires. I think the whole thing's kind of just boring. And, I mean, the red and gold is just like, I don't know. There's nothing really, like, tick that over for these fucking angels for me. And then we got Creations of Bile, which is another S tier. I adore Fabius. This man is perfect in every way. Just ignore all the horrific shit he does on a daily basis. But his Legion being, or I guess Splinter Warband, is really fun because it's just, his student apothecaries who also want to learn how to be horrific just like him, or just a bunch of experiments, just tinkering with genetic material and like altering people's gene seed. I think that's really fun. Just an entire warband of his just creations. I really want to play Creations of Bile at some point. I have a list idea that I think is really interesting. Or at least it was interesting in 9th edition. It's probably not going to be the same in 10th, which saddens me, but I don't know, 10th edition is going to be cool. And anyways, if you want more info about Fabius, there's not much I could say more about this, like, warband, unless I go into detail about Fabius Bile, which just go watch my video on him. It's not aged the best, but I still think it's solid. And now we got the Dark Angels, which, unlike their Primarch, is an A tier. I think they land the knightly vibe that I like a lot more than the Black Templars do. I don't know. I really like their whole secret order, hooded armor, like, look, the whole, like, inner circle of people who are in the know about their dark past. I think it's really fun. And when Dark Angels pop up, they're really interesting. I mean, I think Azrael is one of my favorite chapter masters. From what I read about him, dude is fucking awesome. Despite his bolter being stupid looking, at least in this art. They fixed it from what it looks like. And the new model, which is also sick. I don't know, I feel like I might look into the Dark Angels more and more now that Lionel Johnson is back, because if it's gonna be anything like Gilman's return, it will hopefully fix my problems with the Primarch and just make me like him more. And then we got the Death Guard, which I'm gonna toss into B tier. Which, hear me out. I think the Death Guard are really cool in doses. Much like Nurgle, you know, their chaos god that they follow. I think Nurgle's really fun. Not my favorite chaos god, but Nurgle's aesthetic is really strong with how fucking gross it is. So I like seeing Death Guard and a lot of Nurgle stuff in doses, so the hit of how disgusting they are keeps hitting, and I never lose that, because I feel like if I ever like played Death Guard, painted them all up gross, eventually the Nurgle shit would just kind of like glaze over, and I wouldn't really be interested or shocked by it. I don't know. I love it when Death Guard pop up as like enemies in a story. It's so cool. I like seeing Nurgle stuff pop up, but like I don't think I'd ever be interested in like reading a book from current 40k Death Guard perspective. Just kind of like, I don't know if it'd be that interesting, to be honest. And also, something that takes it from being too popular in my eyes is fuck anybody who plays Death Guard. I hate all of you. Your faction is the least fun to play against. Yeah, oh yeah, the best playstyle of turning off my shit and hard countering my custodies. That's fun. I love that. I'm having fun now. And then next up we got another B tier, that's gonna be the Death Watch. I think the Death Watch are really interesting in concept. This kind of like Spec Ops Space Marine thing where they're taking their like members from all across the Space Marine chapters is really fun. And this leads to a lot of really cool like character moments, because the fun thing about Death Watch is that all of these guys are from different like chapters, so they all have those rivalries and they're bickering constantly. All Death Watch dialogue I read is so good. Mainly though, I just haven't read a lot of things on Death Watch. I haven't dove into their book series, and I kind of just know them off of wiki stuff, which, you know, I don't like doing. But maybe I'll change my mind. This one maybe can move up or down once I read their books, including the Death Watch book that is literally just a 40k version of the Iraq War. I heard good things about it. And then we got Emperor's Children, which is another D tier. I fucking hate Slaanesh. Don't like Slaanesh, don't like the vibe, don't like the vibe of Chaos Emperor's Children. Loyalist Emperor's Children was way cooler and had way cooler characters. Like, pour one out for Rylanor and Tarvix. Absolute chads. I don't know. I'm not a fan of how just they are so Slaanesh-y, because I kind of just hate the entire Slaanesh vibe. It weirds me out, and I'm not a fan of it. However, the one thing they do have is, it is kind of fun to just watch like some depraved pieces of shit have a lot of fun being depraved pieces of shit, with how much joy they get of Primarch corpse stealing, which I guess is a favorite pastime of them. Ooh, and then we got Grey Knights, which are another easy D tier. I really don't like how they're designed. Their armor is boring. Their Dread Knights are ridiculous to look at. I cannot take the Dread Knights seriously. And other than that, like, much like the Eldar, I can justify my hatred for this faction by not knowing a lot about them. I don't like the Grey Knights, so I don't read about them. All I know is the Grey Knight game, which admittedly is very good, actually. That game kind of rules. Which, who knows, maybe my ignorance will change at some point. Probably not soon, and I won't be happy to do this, but at some point I will. At least I know about the, the Grey Knight and Space Wolf War, which was a giant embarrassment for the Grey Knights, which is always fun to read about. And then we got the Imperial Fists, my boys, easy S tier. The Imperial Fists were one of my first actual forays into 40k, like learning about it, because back in the day, my first major exposure to 40k was to If the Emperor Had a Text Speech Device. And my favorite character in that parody series is Rogal Dorn. That version of him is hilarious, and then I immediately fell in love with Dorn. The more I read about him and his men, the more I got into it. And so I don't know. The Imperial Fists have a special place in my heart, despite not being one that I play or delve insanely in large amounts into. But they have that like special place of being, I guess, the first faction I really enjoyed in this setting, which is fun. Other than that, like also the Imperial Fists, at least until the Leagues of Votann came out, were the closest I had to dwarves in 40k, where they're hyper industrious, insanely like stubborn, and if you get them mad, you got a fucking problem, because they got an actual major rage problem. And then we got the Iron Hands, which, C tier. I'm just kind of ambivalent to their existence. Like, they're a thing. They pop up every once in a while. I like that they spam dreadnoughts on the tabletop. I have a friend who has played Iron Hands a decent amount in his time. Looked fun. Like, good on him. Other than that, I don't know. It's like, my interest in the Iron Hands is much like their Primarch, where he pops up and then immediately dies and nothing feels like it changed. And then we got the Iron Warriors, or as I'd also call them, worse Imperial Fists. I have evidence for this. I couldn't say this in my actual Iron Warriors video, but receipts. Imperial Fists are better Siege Masters. Fuck all of you said otherwise in that video. But I will say, despite all that, B tier. I think the Iron Warriors are really fun because, oh my god, they're such dickheads. I think the idea of them doing full artillery spam, not caring about friendly fire, is so fun and goofy. I love me some heavy weapon shit, it's great. And also, I relate, because whenever I play like Total War, Warhammer 3, I also spam artillery. That's my tactics when I play Empire. I just have a 19, 20, or 20 doom stack of just siege cannons and mortars. It's a great time. Then we got the Nightlords, which are an immediate S tier. I love everything about the Nightlords. Black Legion are still my boys, but they're the close second. Oh my god. I love Conrad Kurz. He's one of my favorite Primarchs, and they are so fucking horrific. And it gives me more and more reason every day to fucking actually finish the Nightlords trilogy, because Talos Valkyrian is so cool. I love everything about him, and I just need to bite the bullet and finish that trilogy. I don't know what else to say other than just they're the fucking greatest. Ooh, and then another S tier with the Raven Guard. I am currently collecting a Raven Guard army, all sourced from gifts. I haven't actually spent an actual dollar on my Raven Guard force, which is kind of nice. Also, I'm just good at painting black armor, so their paint scheme is real nice and easy for me. And they're great. I love their tactics, is what mainly made me fall in love. Also, just Corvus Corax is also sick. But mainly their tactics of stealth and like blitz warfare, super fun. Their whole thing with snipers, thank you June from Halo Reach, absolute coolest, made me obsessed with all sniper related stuff in video games. So yeah, the entire Raven Guard shit, just stealth jetpack boys, big fan. Also, K-Van Shrike is actually, I think, the coolest and my favorite chapter master. And then we got the Red Corsairs, which I'm gonna toss into B tier, only because I think it's very possible they can move up or down. It's very mobile tier at this point. Mainly because I just don't know a lot about the Red Corsairs. I know that their current vibe is that they are Chaos Pirates. A bunch of Space Marine pirates that travel around space, causing havoc. Huron Blackheart, the brief bits of info I actually have on the guy are all great, but I just don't know a lot about them, and I do not feel confident enough in explaining them at this point. I will read about them, especially because they're buddies with Abaddon, the Black Legion, but at some point I might make a thing on them and determine if they're going to be an A tier or a C tier. And then we got a recent coverage on my channel, the Salamanders, easy A tier. I think they're immensely fun, and I was actually going to originally go with them when I was starting to build up decided to build the Space Marine army. I really like the whole using of flamers and meltas, like all that stuff. Really fun weapons to use on the tabletop. That, and like, it is genuinely cool how the Salamanders are like nice, good people. It is occasionally fun to root for the good guys. And like I mentioned in my Salamanders video, they're the absolute bros. That and the whole like mastercrafted shit. Their paint scheme is, I think, one of my favorite paint schemes of Space Marines. That specific shade of green is so cool. And then we got Space Wolves, who are a B tier. Mainly just because of the whole wolf thing. As a man of Scandinavian descent, and I do mean that in the American sense, where I have no actual family ties to the country itself, the majority of my family is from that region. I was all down for a Viking Space Marine faction, and instead they're all just wolves and werewolves, which ain't my thing. It's the same thing with vampires. I don't give a shit about werewolves and vampires. Unless they're in Vampire the Masquerade, then they're absolutely dope. But yeah, if they just stuck with a more Viking thing, I'd be more into them. But I am also realizing that that's asking for an entire army to change their aesthetic. And a lot of people like Space Wolves for the wolf aspect. I don't know, I've never given a shit. I met plenty of people who were obsessed with wolves in middle school, enough to make me just not care. And then we got the Thousand Sons, who are an S tier. Suck it, Lehman. Thousand Sons are great. I love these guys, just wizard Space Marines. Their armor is so cool. The actual unique helmets and stuff, amazing. The whole all is dust thing is so fun, where a lot of them are just like automata at this point. Also, I like Psykers. Tzeentch is my favorite Chaos God, and besides that, he's the best Chaos God. So an entire army of Tzeentch sorcerers fucking rules. The actual army is a blast to play, even though I am too small-brained to understand how it works and how to combo it. I used to collect Thousand Sons, but I sold them because it's just kind of too dumb. I just want to move forward and shoot or attack. But I really like Thousand Sons. I love reading about them. Ahriman is great. Magnus is amazing and did nothing wrong. So, yeah, really easy S tier pick. And this one is a really unique opinion. Like, just probably am the first to have this, but the Ultramarines are a D tier. I just find them boring. And not even for like the, oh, they're the Mary Sue poster boy chapters. Fuck you, Matt Ward. I don't care about that. That's just Games Workshop needing a poster boy, because you kind of need a poster boy faction for this. With how many Space Marine chapters there are, you need one that is the default. That's just kind of the necessity of it. And it is good to just have the basic all-arounders be that point. Just none of their shit does it for me. I don't care about their characters, except for Gilliman. Current Gilliman fucking rules. He's great. I don't care about any of their unique characters. And also, their whole Roman vibe also isn't for me. I don't care about the Romans that much. At least the style of, ancient Rome. Not my thing. So yeah, I don't know. Other than just depressed current Gilliman, there's really nothing in this chapter for me to enjoy. And then we got the White Scars, who are easy A tier. They're great. I think other than their paint scheme being pure white, and that's fucking awful to paint, there's a lot to love about the White Scars. Just going fast as fuck. All their characters being really genuinely cool. Corsaro Khan also fucking is so dope. Jagatai Khan too, amazing. His quotes in the Horus Heresy are famous for a reason. And, it is also nice to just have a legion that is just really competent and really cool. And they're also not all up in your face about all of that. They don't brag a lot, so they kind of get the sideline. That, and I also enjoy the tactic of going fast. Their whole reliance on motorbikes and shit is, oh, that's so dope. But currently, I think their position is also subject to change, because I'm curious how much of the actual coolness of the White Scars transfers over to the actual books. I'm currently working through the entire Horus Heresy series, which is an ordeal. And I've heard some mixed things on how the White Scars and Jagatai Khan are portrayed. So this one might hop up or hop down based on the actual quality of the writing, because I'm worried the White Scars are a victim of a common thing in 40k, where the idea of them is way cooler than the actual, canon material on them. I hope that's not the case, but I'll at least see in a few months. And then we got the Word Bearers, who are C tier. Their actual legion is another, they're a thing. I like when they pop up as villains. Their one of the main antagonists in the Rogue Trader game, which I'm actually excited about. But other than that, like, I don't know. Nothing really interests me about them. I'm not super into the whole insanely devout religious angle, at least from the Chaos side. I think it's fun with the Imperium, but they're just really into the Chaos gods. Like, good for them, but not fully my thing. And also their characters, I despise them. I hate them as people. I think they're really fun to read about because, oh my god, they suck so hard. Lorgar sucks. Corferon's a horrible piece of shit. Erebus is a slimy little fuck who has a lot of schemes, and some of them work, not all of them. I like reading about their exploits, but hearing them speak is like, oh, I hate this guy. And then finally, we got the World Eaters, which A tier. Unlike Black Templars, they do the whole angry melee thing in a cool way, in a way I like, where they're just rage-filled, you know, bloodthirsty monsters. Also, Khorne is awesome. Khorne, second favorite Chaos God. He's great. He's so simple. He just wants you to murder things. Blood for the Blood God, skulls for the Skull Throne, that kind of thing. They're dope. Karn is great. I love Angron. I love that he's back. His model is amazing. I don't think I'd ever play World Eaters because I want a little bit more than just the charge forward and like attack. However, playing against World Eaters is something I really enjoy. I am a massive fan of you World Eater players out there. But yeah, this is my tier list. The official and accurate listing of just where all these Space Marine factions stand. And again, if you want me to cover like successor chapters, which would be a video where I actually explain them, because I'm assuming you understand who all these people are. I will actually go into depth and then rank them, rather than just kind of spit through them really quickly. So tell me which ones you want to see covered, because there are a lot of them, and it's going to be a lot of digging. And yeah, if you like this, like, comment, subscribe, do that stuff, join my membership, and if you disagreed with any point on my list, you're wrong. See ya.